So I'm going to try and be a one-take wonder. If I look over here, it's because I'm looking at my beautiful face. I'm wearing an R2D2 t-shirt with an Optimus Prime hoodie, and I've been watching Star Trek. What a beautifully eclectic Sunday it is! Why? Why do we hate things? Why do we hate things? You shouldn't hate. Hate's not great. But I'll be honest, sometimes you do get caught up. It's easy to get caught up. It's easy to realise that you're doing something without knowing that you're doing it until someone points out that you're doing it. I think the best way I can have my input with this, because obviously I'm coming late to the party because I set the homework question, because apparently in the TFYTC that's kind of what we're going to try and do every now and again to keep things going, to keep the YouTube thing going. It annoyed me a little bit because I said, come on, homework for the page for the weekend, and then people put loads of stuff up that wasn't anything to do with YouTube. All the rules, every time I ask you to do homework from now on, it's going to be video-based homework. It's not putting your favourite... I mean, I know I did artwork last week, that's to just get everyone on board, but what I really want you all to do is video stuff, video work, video things. Video stuff. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a while ago, I got sent a message. I think it was a PM. But it was from Damn You Hussies, who hasn't been active for a little while, but was always one of the more cerebral people in the clan, so to speak. And he's very much a thinker. A really, very, very much a thinker. He's very much he loves his toys, but I think he sees the toys in a very different way to some of the rest of us see the toys. That's great. How he views them isn't part of the thing. But I think he sent me a PM one day that just went, I've noticed that you're very, very quick to dismiss stuff that you're not into. And he said he was quite apologetic about it, but coming from him specifically made me think. And this was a while ago, and I've been thinking about it for a while. And this comes hand in hand with a thing that went on the Facebook page quite a while ago, where I asked for questions for a Q&A video. And everyone got on my fucking back about the fact that Q&A videos are ultimately quite boring, and they're for people who haven't really got any imagination, because Q&A videos are reactive instead of creative. And if you've done one recently, great, because I asked to do one at the time and I was in a real rut, and I thought that having a Q&A video would be a really good way of stirring the pot and getting the creative juices going and that sort of thing. Yes, cool, we're all right, under brilliant, okay. But it really made me think, because the thing that I got told that I poo-poo quite a lot was reading. I struggle reading, so I have for quite some time now always put down comics. I've always gone, oh, bloody comic book readers, and that sort of stuff. And I didn't realise I was doing it. At the beginning, I knew I was doing it in an ironic kind of way, because in my head, I knew that I was being funny and sort of being a typical Englishman by putting my own shortcomings down and recognising them. But then it went on and on and on to the point where I was doing it all the time, and I just sounded like a grouchy arsehole. I remember Thew put on one of my videos once, big surprise, Dave doesn't like G1. And it was at those points then you start to think, oh, I'm doing this too much. And that's when you get moany. That's when it all starts to go wrong, and you need to take a good hard look at what you're doing. It's really, really, really easy to complain. think one of the things that changed in the last 4 or 5 years specifically is that I've never known a time quite so prominently where we are all fighting for our 15 minutes of fame. Because the internet's a big thing, because the sharing of knowledge and the sharing of entertainment is no longer something that's specifically for a very finite group of people. If you imagine that 10 years ago, if you wanted to be an entertainer, you were an entertainer on the stage, you were an entertainer in film, that sort of thing. But these days, I'm making this video on a device that I carry about with me in my back pocket all the time. This thing that I'm recording on is never more than 10 feet away from me, ever. So everyone has a camera. The popularity these days is marked by not having to move far from where you go, and that's changed the quality of what happens. Photography these days, photography is no longer a special thing. Photography is wasted these days. Photography is taking pictures of your dinner when you go out to a restaurant. Photography isn't capturing. Photography is literally, it's one-upmanship. It's one-upmanship, and I think that's what I'm getting to. We complain about stuff now because no one ever listens to a good point. It's so rare. What is it recently? Okay, so I'm going to... Sid Beckett. Sid Beckett makes blogs about stuff, and a few people have told me to go and read it, because as we've said, the reading thing, it's not exactly my forte, but I'm trying to improve. I'm improving myself. I'm 42 years old. It's not over yet. I'm trying to improve myself. Maz, can't remember his second name. He writes blogs. He takes beautiful photos. Emily told about him. She gushes profusely about his photographs, and he says even if you don't read the words, look at the photographs because they're beautiful. These are snippets, okay? These are 2 instances that I can pick out in the last God knows how long where someone said something was good. I've had a bit of good fortune recently. I've had a very generous thing by someone that I'm not going to talk about. If you ever see this, thank you very much. You'll probably know who you are. I got a gift for someone else vicariously through someone who matters. Because I said good things, because I said nice things, because it is good to be good. But it's the exception to be good. It's the exception to be noticed because you're good at something. If you want to get noticed on the internet, you complain. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, if you want your opinion to be the biggest opinion, if you want to be the loudest in the room, no one wants to hear from you if you're being nice about it. You absolutely have to complain. Because it's the complainers that get heard. And I think the shame of it is, it's the complainers 7 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, it's the complainers who are the ones who are stuck inside because they've got nothing better to do. Often the people that aren't complaining, often the people that are doing something to go towards something, often the people that are pushing the boundaries of what they do and exploring new things and trying new things and making stuff and being creative, whether it be videos or costumes at a cosplay competition, whether it's model spaceships or content for YouTube. The people that are making stuff are often far too busy doing and not just reading what other people have done, ingesting what other people have done and finding ways to complain about it. And I think we've become lazy, not as a nation, but just as a species, because of the internet, because everything is so absolutely bang there in front of us all the time. We're lazy. We're a horrible, fickle, picky shit species now. and there's going to be a turn. It makes me sound like a bit of a hippie saying this. It does make me sound a bit, but I live in the kind of house that is a bit hippie-tastic. It's very, 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 very important that you don't become one of them. Running this Facebook page, you get to see them all the time. You get to see people that are sitting on the fence. I hate people who sit on the fence. Have a fucking opinion. Even if it's a shitty opinion, have an opinion. Make it your opinion as well. Don't have the opinion that other people have because it's the popular opinion. Have your opinion. If your opinion isn't the popular one, then the chances are that your opinion is the one that's going to get heard. But what you need is the bravery to stand by it. Change doesn't come from shouting and screaming. Change comes from being active. Change comes from being at the front and not at the back. Sure, there's an innuendo in there somewhere, but this isn't the time for it. I don't complain a huge amount, not about my collection. I complain about space all the time. It's because I'm a 42-year-old man that lives in a shared house, especially recently because the dynamic has changed in my life. But I'm not following anymore. I'm not standing at the back of the queue. Shit. We complain about stuff because stuff is easy to come across. We complain about stuff because it's the easiest way of being heard. And we complain about stuff mainly because everyone else is. We complain because we think we're right. We complain because things aren't like they used to be. One of the biggest things, one of the most offensive things that I've heard in so long was a thread that was on the Facebook page a couple of months ago when Titan's Return was coming out, and someone put that a masterpiece, not a masterpiece, Titan's Return, Optimus Prime had only just come out. Photos were coming out on the boxes in the UK, on people's shelves. You could go and buy one. It's very nice. You should go and buy it. It's lovely. Phone, all the cool stuff. I'm not sponsored. And the most annoying thing that I've heard in absolutely ages was that this fucking person thought that they should be £20. Really, really thought that they should be 20. Wasn't ever going to buy one unless they were like 20, 25 quid. And that's the most narrow-minded, short-sighted. If that's how you view the world, if you think that you should be able to have that for X amount of money, you are most likely a very unfulfilled person. If you are so self-entitled that you think that I'm not ever going to buy one of those for 20, that's not worth more than 20 quid. That is not worth more than £20. If you think that £25 of the 45 quid that toy is going to cost, and that's going to be way more now we've left Europe, trust me, it's going to get more expensive. I think we've had this debate, but if you think that the 25 quid of the £45 is going in the back pocket of the person who brought that into the country, you're fucking deluded. You're stupid. There's no money in this. There's no money in this for the retailers. The retailers do it because they've got alternative motives. People believe that they are right. People believe that they deserve more than they're actually getting. Unfortunately, 9 out of 10 times, the people that think this aren't actually striving towards making it better for anyone, including themselves. All they're doing is sitting at home, looking at stuff on the internet, gleaning all the information they can from what other people have said and spouting it back out in a different way. And that really pisses me off. Someone told me a little while ago, be a shepherd, not a sheep. And it's very, very true. It doesn't matter how big or small your input is. It's very important that you have to have an input. Because if all you do is ingest and regurgitate, where's that coming from? You're not learning anything, you're not gaining new information. You're just stirring it round and seeing it in a different way. It's bollocks. I love my collection. I don't play with it enough. I'm guilty of buying stuff and then not touching it again for a little while. But it does make me happy. And I'll admit, I just really enjoy that little 10 minutes of opening the box. I even got to share 10 minutes of opening the box with someone who, and it wasn't even my toy, it was over Skype, and they opened their toy, and it was just like, I got to share their kind of, whoa, this is what the packaging looks like, look how big with the box full, the clamshell that stuff comes in. That little sort of exploration when something is new is just, don't complain. Well, yes, actually, complain. There are very good complainers. There are very entertaining complainers. Mr. Gerard Galvin Barry. I've got an ideal for a video for you. It's totally stolen off someone else, which is going against everything that I'm saying, but sometimes imitation is the greatest form of flattery. There is a style of video that you definitely need to steal off someone else. He complains, and he's really good at it. I like to watch him complain because he has hate and vitriol from a deep, dark place that just doesn't exist within me, and I like to sort of, it's good fun to be part of that, even if it's the part of it is just watching the video. But he's a content creator, and he's a man with his own opinions, and you can't change that opinion. If you have a different opinion to him, then he will sit and listen to your opinion, and right at the end, if he doesn't agree with it, he'll go, "You're a twat." And he won't care. He's got no guilt about it. It's fine to have two different opinions. What's shit is when your opinion isn't your opinion, it's the opinion of everybody else. I've gone on for ages. It was just my turn to say something. This isn't really just generally been about my collection or toys. This is just generally about humanity and the way the internet works. But because of those instances, because of when H said something to me, because when a damn you hussy said something to me, because I'm the one leading my life, people point out little tiny snippets and then you start connecting the dots and a pattern forms. You have to pay attention to the pattern. It's the universe talking to you. And on that very, very hippie note about the universe, thank you to all the people who've made something to do with this topic. Please suggest topics that are to do with making videos, because it's a thing about making videos. This is 20 minutes, just about to turn 18 minutes. See ya.